Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about my pregnancy story, how I found out I was pregnant, what I experienced, the feelings that I went through. So yeah, let's get right into it. So year 2023, it was the best year of my life, and I had just made new friends. So we decided we want to go for Afro Nation. We went for so many other festivals, and yeah, so 1 month after coming home from Afro Nation, I kind of felt weird. You know that if you've been pregnant before, maybe unexpectedly, it's like a kind of weird feeling, like you're pregnant, but I didn't really want to like accept it. So I didn't want to do a test, so I just decided I'm not gonna do a test. Mind you, I was 22 years old. I was 21. I was 21 years old. I was in uni. I was like in my third semester. I was studying business at that time. And then I have a feeling I'm pregnant. So instead of taking a pregnancy test, I just continue the party life because I'm denying the pregnancy completely. I know 1 month before that, during the time for Afro Nation, I told myself I am not getting pregnant until I'm at least 33 years old. Like, I want to have fun. I want to go out. I want to like live my party life to the max. Like, the most important thing in my life was the party life. That's all I wanted to do. I continued partying. So mind you, now I'm 2 months pregnant. I'm still going for festivals. I'm still partying. At month 3, when my period really wasn't coming, I just decided I have to take a test now. It's getting serious. I took a test and the test was positive. So I was like, I don't know. I took another test. Test was still positive. I was still living in denial. Then I started feeling a little bit of pain, so I went to the hospital. I was still in denial that I was pregnant. That's how delusional I was. So I went to the hospital because now I was like, I need a confirmation, yeah. And I said, I'm experiencing some cramps. I don't know. I had a positive pregnancy test. So they do the ultrasound on me. The lady, she's like, look, you're 3 months pregnant. This is the baby. She shows me the baby. The baby's hand was even like as if the baby was waving. So I was like, immediately I saw that tears started running down my face. The lady she just gave me the paper, the picture of the ultrasound in my hand, and she told me good luck. I went home. That time I was using public transport. It was a 20-minute bus ride. The whole bus ride I was crying. I didn't carry any sunglasses, nothing. Everybody was looking at me because nobody knows what's going on. I'm just there crying and I couldn't stop it. I've never cried that much in my life because I'm thinking my life is over and the tears are flowing, like they're dripping down onto my phone, because I'm trying to distract myself. And I don't know, it was like, I thought to myself, that today is the worst day of my life. I didn't know what a beautiful life was coming to me, what a blessing was being gifted to me. God saved me. Let me tell you, God sent me my son and saved my life because my life was literally going downhill. I was in uni. I was in the town where I was studying, and the next day I took a train home to my mother's house, and I told my mom, yeah, Mom, I have to tell you something. And my mom looked at me and she's like, what do you mean? I told her, just take a guess. And my mom was like, she said, you're pregnant. And I'm like, yeah. The tears came again. I started bawling again. And she just took me in her arms and she just said, Vanessa, it's okay. And she was actually happy, like, because I even think she did like a jump of joy because I don't know, I guess she was ready to be a grandma. So after my mom had such a positive reaction, my tears stopped because then I was like, okay, I have my mom on my side, so it's not so bad anymore. I won't say I was really happy yet, but it was definitely better telling my mom that, because in the beginning I didn't want to tell her, but when I reached her home, it's like I couldn't keep it in me anymore. So that evening I decided to go to a fair in the city with my sister and some friends. And then while we were there at the fair, of course, my friends, they start pulling out the drinks. My sister starts pulling out the drinks and they're like, Vanessa, here, take a shot, you're the queen of taking shots, yeah. And I said, I'm not taking it. Everybody looked at me like, you are not taking a shot? What the hell? Like, are you driving? And I said, nope. I wasn't driving. And they're like, they already had a suspicion because I would never deny a drink. I would never. Just my sister is like, you're pregnant. And I'm like, yeah. And they're all like, what? Oh my god. Yeah, that was just my sister and my two close friends. The next week, I had already booked the next festival and I couldn't cancel it anymore because I had booked the flights, I had booked the accommodation, and this was Notting Hill Carnival. I still went, but I didn't drink. I was a bit sad because I'm like, this is gonna be the last party for a while. But yeah, I still had fun. I learned how to have fun in a sober way, and I think that also really changed me as a person. At this point, like now it's been 2 weeks since I know I was pregnant. I was hitting like the biggest reality check of my life because I had to quit my studies because my due date was at the same date that my exams were going to be. So I quit my studies, I quit my apartment, I didn't quit my job yet actually. I kept my job until 36 weeks pregnant. No, not 36, 34 weeks pregnant. I was still working and I had a very small bump, so nobody would really see. In the town that I was studying, nobody knew I was pregnant. I kept my pregnancy secret from everybody. Only my mom knew, my sister and a few friends. I kept it completely secret because I'm a person, I get very anxious and I overthink a lot. So with people knowing that I'm pregnant, I was scared of negative review, like my English is gone. I was scared of getting negative feedback. I literally forgot the word, sorry. Anyways, let me continue. And I was so scared of negative feedback because back then I would care so much what people were thinking of me. It's crazy because now as a mother, I don't care anymore. It's like I'm a new person now. And I think also the whole party life made me kind of anxious. Yeah, the months passed by. I moved back into my mom's house. So imagine now, I've moved out of my mom's house. I've started uni. I've got my job. I was working as a waitress. I was funding myself, my life, and now I get pregnant. I have to move back with my mom. I felt like I was thrown behind in life. But at the same time, I didn't really realize that my baby is the one that's helping me to do more in life. Because before that, I was in uni, but I was not really taking uni seriously. And now I have so many ambitions and goals to actually do something out of my life, and I'm so much more motivated now. I wish that I could go back and tell myself that everything's going to be all right, because when you're young and you haven't figured out your life and you get pregnant, it's literally like the end of the world. That feeling feels like hell. And then the worst thing is I started losing friends. You know, like when you get pregnant and everybody is in this stage of life where they're trying to do uni or they're trying to party or they're trying to travel. My friends, the ones that I told them I'm pregnant. Some of them, they were like, yeah, I'm going to be there for you. They were not even there for the next 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, they started ghosting me. I think from so many people that I told, like 2 friends stayed. The feeling, I cannot describe it. Like when you know your friends, they're continuing their life, they're going partying, and you just have to stay home. My friends, they just continued partying. It was such a bad feeling because I'm thinking, how can they party without me? And I mean, it's not their fault that I got pregnant. I felt like life is so unfair because I wanted to be with them, be out there on the streets with them. And I couldn't do that anymore. So that made me feel really bad, just at home, watching the Snapchat stories, watching the IG stories. Oh my god, it was hell. I was lucky that I was pregnant over the winter. Like, I had my 7-8 months pregnancy mark during winter. So yeah, as I said, I was working until 34 weeks. I told my boss when I was 6 months pregnant. I told my boss when I was 6 months pregnant that I'm pregnant, and she was so happy for me. She even hugged me, and she was literally so nice. And I told her I want to continue working because obviously I need some money. I was lucky because I had such a small bump. You couldn't see it. I could wear a big t-shirt on top and nobody would see my bump. So I was a waitress. nobody noticed that I was pregnant. Only the people at my job knew, my boss knew. And yeah, so I just continued, and I think that's what kept me really fit during pregnancy, because I was working, and after work there was no more public transportation, so I had to walk back for nearly 40 minutes every day. At 8 months pregnant, I was still walking home at night in the winter, in the snow. I'm looking back at it, I think I was crazy. During my pregnancy, I thought my life is over, because I had so much money in my savings, and I was literally burning through my money just by going partying, by traveling to party. Everything was just living my life. But in the end, I do not regret partying so much, and I do not regret traveling so much, because I made experience for life, and I had all the fun that I needed to have before becoming a mother. Because I meet other mothers out there and they tell me, oh my god, I got pregnant at such a young age, at 17 maybe, and they never got to experience what it's like going to the club or experiencing this feral party life. They never got to experience that. So at least I got to experience that somehow. This pregnancy really humbled me. It made me learn how to stay at home. It made me way closer with my family and my close friends, of course the friends that stayed. I unlearned my toxic ways of living, and I'm having so much fun being at home and taking care of him. I don't even want to leave him anymore. My sister has tried so many times to take me out, and I'm like, ugh. But also that my son is still very young. He's just 6 months old, and it just doesn't feel right to leave him alone yet, or leave him with a babysitter or somebody. I don't know, maybe with family. And what else I learned is, I've learned now to build genuine friendships, because before that it was just like, hey, we should be friends, let's just go out, let's go out. And I never really got to know my friends, because all we would do is meet up and go out, go to the club, go party. And now I've learned how to build genuine friendships, and I've learned how to stay by myself. I've learned how to stay alone, and that's so important, to learn how to stay alone. And I feel like that strengthened me, because I used to have such a weak personality before. Now I'm confident in myself. I don't need validation from other people anymore. Before that, when I used to hear other mothers talking, like saying that motherhood changes you, this is not the change that I expected, because I always thought it would be a bad change, but it's a positive change. All the things that were so important to me before, like unnecessary things, like, you know, they're not important to me like that. And I've stayed away from so much drama. My life was always filled with drama, because I was always out on the streets. I thought my traveling life is over. I thought I can't travel anymore with a baby. My baby has been to Amsterdam with me. My baby has been to Paris with me. And now we are preparing for a big trip to go to Kenya for the next 4 months. Maybe we will even extend. And I'm so excited to take him to the place that I grew up. Then I wanted to talk about postpartum. So pregnancy in itself is a really difficult time, especially for me, especially if it's unexpected. You have to get used to it. Like, I remember the whole time when I was pregnant, I was like, I didn't feel the connection. Even after my baby was born, yeah, it took me some time until I realized, okay, I have a baby. I don't know, I was living in the Lulu with my whole pregnancy. I was literally being so delusional, because I couldn't believe that I was pregnant, that I'm going to be a mother. Me at 22. And then postpartum came. So baby was born, and I heard about it. I heard that people say postpartum is difficult, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna thug it out. Nothing is going to be hard on me. I was fine for like a few days. I think I cried when leaving the hospital. I didn't want to leave the hospital. I was just thinking, how can they let me leave with this baby? I don't know this baby. Because I thought that when you give birth, you feel this instant love for your baby. But it's more, I learned that it's more like you have to learn to love your child. Like, you learn to love your child. Like, love is built. And I mean, some people might have it instantly, but through all the sleepless nights and all the difficult things we've been through, I think that's how we built this connection, and I learned to love him. And I think also because my hormones are kind of weird, didn't want to accept reality. In the time that during my pregnancy, I had a social worker that was guiding me through it. and helping me with finances and all of that. I called her after like 1 week and I told her I'm not feeling myself. I don't feel that connection that everybody's talking about to their baby. And she's like, yeah, you have to go to therapy, this and this. So I actually went to the psych ward. I think you call it a psych ward. Sorry guys for my English. I think I've been in Germany for too long. My English is just psh. I went to this psychiatry for mother and child, and I looked at that place and I said, nope, I am not staying here. I left the same day, and I think from that day I was healed from my postpartum depression. No single tear has ever dropped from my eyes again after that day. I think that's the reality check that I needed. And like, I saw that place and I was like, no, I don't want to look back in future and say I spent the first nice months I spent that in the psych ward with him. That's not the memory I wanted to have. And yeah, I just wanted to be open about my experience because I know what you go through, especially in pregnancy, and pregnancies with a lot of loneliness, and especially postpartum again. And the weird thing is, I couldn't even remember what it feels like to be pregnant. Like right now, if I imagine my bump, I don't know. I just know I don't want to be pregnant now for some time, maybe later in life again. But now I'm working to get my body back, and I don't know who lied to me that said breastfeeding will help you shed weight, because I feel it's doing the exact opposite. I cannot lose weight at all while I'm breastfeeding. And as I said, right now I'm in the process of getting my life on track, and I've enrolled back into university. I'm doing an online study because I do not want to give him up in kindergarten yet. So I will be studying online, traveling back to Kenya. I'm also trying to take social media serious this year, next year, and maybe try and make a living of it. That's why it would be so nice if you guys could like and subscribe, or maybe comment as well for the algorithm. Like, subscribe, I would be so happy. Let me know, maybe comment down below what type of videos you want to see from me, or what type of questions you have regarding my story. If you want to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, these are my socials. Thank you for listening to my story, and if you're soon to be mom, just know it gets better, and you can trust me on that. Even when it seems like nothing is working out, like your life is falling apart, it gets better. Thank you guys for listening.